Okay, now if you have given some thought to what will be the cost drivers for different items, we can now proceed further. And there is no right or wrong answer in many of these places. Uh, the reason is that there can be multiple drivers for a particular cost item, and it sometimes is counterproductive to uh, you know dig in and fine tune and find out what it is. So many times what management does is, instead of getting into this much detail, they just apportion it either equally, or they could just come up with a simple metric such as number of employees or the total sales. So some such number they'll come up with, and then all the overheads will be divided by such things. If you recall our budget sheet that was shared in the very first class, you'll notice there was a number 17 rupees per hour. So their thought process was that if my plant works for 1 hour, I am incurring 17 rupees of cost. So it doesn't matter, how much is going into IT and how much is going into painting and how much is going into insurance. I will not worry about all that. I'll just club that into one basket and divide it or apportion it in this way. So that's sometimes an approach, and which may work well for smaller businesses. If you recall our first slide of this class, the smaller businesses have hardly 15-20% of the total cost as overhead, and then it's fine. They need not necessarily implement something called as an activity based costing. But a larger complex business will have to go in this direction. Now let's move to the step 3, which is the actual allocation. So on the left hand side you have all these cost centers, and on this chart I have tried to show what the costs are for products P1, P2 and P3. The orange color at the bottom are the direct costs. Now the first cost center will give some indirect costs to product 1 and to product 2. The basis for this allocation will be the cost driver. So if product 1 is using only this much of CC1, then it gets this much share, whereas a P3 has a higher share because maybe the product P3 consumes more of those cost drivers. So that may be employees, that may be number of pages printed or whatever. And product P2 does not consume anything at all from CC1. Next, from CC2, all three have some share, and the share will depend on what is the cost driver for CC2, which may be different from that for CC1. Finally, for CC3, similarly, you have some share, and this time you observe that P2 has a greater share. Maybe P2 consumes more of that cost driver, or P2 is associated with a greater number of the variable which has the cost driver for CC3. Next, it may happen that there may be some relationship among the cost centers also. So let us say that CC1 is the IT department. Now IT department doesn't only serve the products, they may also be serving other cost centers, because everybody uses computers and they may have computer troubles, so therefore they may get some share of things. So to take care of that, sometimes there is an arrow flowing among cost centers also. So such as this one, where CC3 is passing on some of the share cost to CC2, and only some part is going to the products, and then CC2's total cost will increase. It will be their direct cost plus some share from CC3 as well. So that is what makes this a little more complicated to be solved through human calculations. It requires a computer or an ERP to take care of this, because a modern business would have dozens of cost centers, and then these interactions, such as what I mentioned between CC3 and CC2, there will be so many interactions among themselves. For example, employee welfare will be there in each and every cost center. and IT will also be there in each and every cost center. So this way, you know, a lot of cost gets absorbed by different cost centers themselves. So a proper allocation of cost in such complex organizations can happen only through an SAP type software, and it can be either SAP or it can be something which does functions similar to the SAP. It can be any ERP software, but you need software. It is not humanly possible. So this is in a nutshell how activity based costing is done. As I said, without an ERP it is not possible to do the actual calculations. So we will not be doing solving any problems on this, but you should understand this as a concept. So we stop with that.